trying to save your life from the torments that God has prepared for those who disobey him. You can't just disobey God and think nothing gonna happen to you. I don't know where people get that from. That is not in the Bible. Read.
The same must know it after death by pain.
You don't know God's commandments when he puts you in the lake of fire. That's when you're going to learn. That's when you're going to learn not to wear pants as a monk. That's when you're going to learn not to eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. When the Lord puts you in the lake of fire, we don't want it to come in there for our people. How you doing, sis? You doing okay? You doing all right? We are here teaching our people who we are and what we must do to get salvation according to the Bible. I want you to answer one question for me. Where you see yourself on the 12 tribes chart right now? Where you see yourself on there? Those are the 12 tribes of Israel. What's your father? Your father is so-called a black man?
Yes.
Okay. So God calls the American blacks, the African Americans in the Bible, the tribe of Judah. That's who lines up with the tribe of Judah, the American blacks, according to prophets. So let me ask you something else. Now we done figured out who you are in this tribe. So you're not American black. You're not black people. You know what I'm saying? Black is the color of the crown about. We the Israelites. That's what God calls us. So let me ask you something else. What color is Christ? You don't think you got a color? You don't know? Okay, that's okay. That's okay. We're gonna show you. It's all right. Yeah, but what we come out here with is the Holy Bible, the book of the Lord. And God tells us to seek out his book and read, because all the answers are right here. So give me Revelation 1:14. The answer is right here on what our Lord and Savior look.
The book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 14.
Revelation 1:14, so you can go back and read it for yourself. Read.
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
Jesus Christ got white in color. It was woolly and textured hair that he had on his head. Who on earth has woolly textured hair? Nappy, black people, right? When you look at a sheep, the same hair a sheep got is the same hair black people got on their head. That's the color. That's the texture Christ had on his head. Woolly textured hair, good.
As white as snow.
And it's white as snow. His hair was fully white, and it was woolly, as is this image right here. This depiction is lined up with what we read. He had a full head of hair on his head that was woolly, and his beard was woolly too. Read.
As white as snow, and his eyes was a flame of fire.
Genesis 49:12. It says his eyes were as a flame of fire. It's not going into like he was shooting fire out of his eyes or nothing like that. He's going into the color of his eyes. This is the prophecy in Genesis. Read.
The book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 12. His eyes shall be red with wine.
So Christ's eyes will be red with wine because he drank wine in moderation. When you drink wine, the yolk of your eyes turn red. So we got woolly hair, which is black people hair, and his eyes were red, a red tint. Read.
Revelation chapter 1 and verse 15. And his feet like unto fine brass.
And his feet were brown. John is looking at Christ's feet right now. He said his feet are brown. His skin color is brown. But how brown was it? Read.
As if they burned in a furnace.
So Christ was so dark, it looked like he burned in a fire. So he had black people hair, nappy hair, red eyes, and his skin was so brown that it looked like he burned in the furnace. This sounds like a black man when you read about it. This don't sound like today's image of a white man. Because white people don't have woolly hair, they got stringy hair. You know what I'm saying? So Christ, according to the Bible, is what? You know that ain't Christ according to what we just read. According to what we just read, which one of these look like Christ? Now, did I say that? The Bible just said it. The Bible just said it. So we ain't got to be confused no more. There's no confusion. According to the word of God, Christ is the black.
What?
Watch this. Now, let me ask you again, sis. You know about slavery? You know about what they told us in school, right? So we can identify that happened to our foremothers and forefathers, right? Slavery. Well, why did it happen to us as a people? Why did the greatest or the most terroristic thing on earth happen to us? Put on ships, sold, whipped on our backs, hands chopped off. How did that happen to us? You don't really know, right? I didn't either until I read the Bible, until we read the Bible. And we found out why this evil happened to us. We're going to figure out why this evil happened to our people. Because God got the answer. Remember, every answer is right here in the Bible. We're going to get the answer. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15. And it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
The Lord said, he's speaking to us through Moses right now. You familiar with Moses? He split the Red Sea for the children of Israel, and they walked through. So right now he's dealing with us in the wilderness. And he's telling us by God that if we don't obey him, if we don't hearken to his voice, read.
To observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day.
So Moses told us that if y'all don't do God's commandments, if y'all don't keep his statutes and his commandments that he gave y'all, read.
That all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
And curses will come upon the children of Israel, and they will overtake them, so they will be destroyed. That's what they're saying. Curses will come upon them, and they will destroy them. Read. So we're going to see some of the curses. Because, give me verse 46, real quick.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder.
So the curses will be upon the children of Israel for a sign. Right, this sign right here, the stop sign, right? You know it's a stop sign that says stop on. So that's the same way the curses will be upon the people of God to identify who they are in today's time. And it will be for a wonder. The wonder is, why are my people at the bottom of society? Why are we living in the ghettos of America? Why are we hung in trees, burned alive, and castrated, burnt in all this evil that happened to our people? Why did this happen to us? Why couldn't it be somebody else? Why did it have to happen to my forefathers and my foremothers? Read verse 16. We're going to read some of the curses. We're going to see if they line up with verse 16.
Verse 16. Cursed shall thou be in this city.
So one of the curses that God will put upon his people is that they will be cursed in the city. Wherever they live, they're going to be cursed there. They're going to live in poor conditions. It's going to be drugs being sold. It's going to be murder. It's going to be at an all-time high. Single-parent households at an all-time high. Abortions at an all-time high. That's against that curse. That's because the curses will put on specific people, not everybody. Read.
Hey, why did Lord put the curses on us?
Right. Why did this happen to us? Why are we cursing the city? Because we didn't do his commandments.
That's right.
And now we're going to read the next half of this curse. We will be cursing the cities. Read.
Cursed shall thou be in this city, and cursed shall thou be in the field.
And then cursed will we be in the fields. When we got off those slave ships, when they brought us from the west coast of Africa to America, what labor were we doing when we got off those ships? We were picking cotton. Where at?
That's right.
Where at? Where were we picking the cotton? In the fields.
That's right.
Read the half of this.
And cursed shall thou be in the field.
God said that would happen to the children of Israel. So when we read that lines up with who today? Black people. Making us what? The children of Israel. That's who we are. This Bible was written to us, for us. And we disobeyed God, and that's why we were in the cotton field. And if we didn't pick enough cotton, like my brother said earlier, guess what they do to us? They'll chop our hands off. They'll do much evil to us. That's a curse from God. Read verse 32.
Verse 32. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 32.
Bring it out.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
So God said that the children of Israel, their sons and daughters, will be stripped from them, and they will be given to another people. Look at that happen to in slavery, or throughout history. Look at that happen to throughout history. Whose sons and daughters were taken from them and given to another people? Black people. In slavery, right? The auction blocks. That's what we're reading about right now. Because on them auction blocks, guess what they would do? I don't know if you got kids or not, but they'll take your sons and your daughters, and they give them the master smith, master walkers, master wielders, You understand? Master Johnson. That's what they would do. Sons and daughters being stripped from you and given to another race of people. Read.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long.
When they took our sons and daughters from us, it was nothing we could do but cry. You ever seen the movie Roots? When, what's her name? Kizzy just took her from my dad, and there was nothing that her parents could do but just look and cry. There was nothing they could do. When you look at those movies, it's a depiction of what we read today. Our sons and daughters being taken, there was nothing we could do, good.
And there shall be no might in thine hand.
And there was no might to get them back. You couldn't buy your son and daughter back. Once they were sold off to South Carolina, Louisiana, you'll never see them again. That's why we got family scattered everywhere. We just don't even know it because we went through such a horrific thing. You understand? Verse 48. But why did the Lord say this would happen to us then? Why did God say he would do this to his people? If they didn't do what? If they didn't follow the commandments. See, Moses was telling us this then, and we were like, oh, he playing, he joking around. God wasn't playing, and we reading about it today, and it happened.
That's right.
He wasn't playing, he was, I'm sorry? What is the commandment? Not all the commandments. All the commandments, we're going to give you some. Verse 48, and then I'll give us some commandments real quick.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 48. Therefore, shall thou serve thy enemies.
Therefore, we will serve our enemies for not serving God. Because we didn't want to serve God, we will serve our enemies. God said, oh, you don't want to serve me? I'm going to serve the other nation. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and gladness of heart.
So because we don't serve God with joyfulness as a people and with gladness of heart, because our people serve other religions and doctrines today outside the one true God of heaven and earth. We don't want to keep his commandments. We want to follow in the Christianity, which was given to us in slavery by our enemies. It's a man-made religion that they came up with during the time of slavery. All of our people that follow the Baptist religion, Mormon, Adventists, all these different denominations of religion, of Christianity, those were given to us by our enemies because we didn't want to serve God with joyfulness and gladness. Read.
And with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things.
God would have gave us everything. If we would have just obeyed him, your feet would have never had to touch the ground.
That's right.
We would have servants right now.
That's right.
If we obeyed the one true God. Us brothers, we will rule this earth. You understand? And royal and immortal bodies right now. Dash on our enemy head against rock. This would, for real, we would have everything we ever wanted. But we just would have did what God said. Read.
Verse 48, therefore shall thou serve thy enemies.
So therefore, because you don't want to serve me for the abundance of all things, I would have gave you this whole earth. You don't want to serve me, I'm going to make you serve your enemy then. Don't be in them cotton fields here. Don't get on them slave ships. That's what God said he would do to us. Read.
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
So God sent our enemy against us. He did that. It wasn't no wonder that the white man just came to the west coast of Africa. No, God put the spirit on him to do that. And to deal with us how he dealt with us. Read.
Which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things.
We can serve our enemies for everything. Food, and the water, clothes, everything. Black people don't own none of this stuff. We got to go to a whole other nation of people for it.
That's
Read.
right. And he,
the same enemy God will send against us now. Read.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
And that enemy that God will send against us, he will put chains about our necks. Who had a yoke of iron on their neck? Slaves do. But who God said this would happen to? The children of Israel. Who were those slaves? Those were the Israelites. And we descend from them. And we're reading about what would happen to them if they disobeyed God.
That's right.
Read.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, until he have destroyed thee.
Until we were destroyed. Until when you came up, when you drove up, you didn't really know who you were according to the Bible. I had to show you. That's proving that what God said would happen to us, it happened. We were destroyed. We didn't know we were the Israelites. We didn't know we were Judah, Benjamin, Levi. All these are the sons and daughters of God. A beautiful nation of people.
Right.
You understand? Give me Deuteronomy 20:25 now. So remember, we broke the laws of God. Now we got to keep the laws. These are one of the laws of God that we broke. And that our people don't keep today. That's why we still in the condition that we need. Read the scripture.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22 and verse 5.
Bring it out.
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
So the law is that a woman can't wear what pertains to a man. What do women wear today that pertains only to a man? I'm going to read the bottom half and we're going to come back to the top. Watch this.
Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
So a man ain't supposed to wear what pertains to a woman. What do men wear today that pertain to women? Dresses. Now let's go back to the top.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22 and verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
So now the woman, we're talking about the woman now. So we know a man ain't supposed to wear a dress. But what are women not supposed to wear that pertain to men? Hands. God calls that cross-dressing. God is against cross-dressing. America done taught us that that's okay. Because we done learn everything from who our enemies, right? But God said that a woman ain't supposed to wear pants, and a man ain't got no business wearing a dress.
That's right.
Read.
For all that do so are an abomination unto the Lord thy God.
Because when we do that, we are an abomination in the eyes of God. You understand? It's a nasty thing in the eyes of God for a woman to wear pants and a man to wear a dress. That's an abomination. He does not like it. That's why he sent us into slavery. Because the Lord hateth all abomination. Well, give me that real quick. Let's get that again. Because the Lord said he hate all sin. So 15:13. We hate all abominations. See? So we got to come out of that abomination. And we want to be right in the eyes of God.
That's right.
Right.
The book of Sirach, chapter 15 and verse 13. The Lord hateth all abominations.
The Lord hateth all abomination, my sister. So us being in the midst of that abomination, the Lord hates that. We don't want to see us in the midst of that. Give me that 1 Corinthians 3:16. We ain't supposed to do this neither, sis. We ain't supposed to destroy the defile our temple. I see you put that bait to your book. That says destroying our bodies.
Wake them up.
Behind doing that? Is anything positive come behind doing that to your body and inhaling something other than oxygen? Doesn't. All right, so watch this. This is what God said he's going to do when we do this. 1 Corinthians 3:16. Read 13. 3:16. Because it's a punishment. There's a judgment behind that too, my sister. And we don't want to partake in that. Read it right now.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 3 and verse 16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God?
So know ye not that ye are the temple of God. We the temple of God. We the children of Israel. God is supposed to dwell within us. Read.
And that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you.
The Spirit of God is supposed to dwell in us. We're supposed to be keeping God's commandments. Read.
If any man defile the temple of God,
So if any man defile the body that God is giving him, read.
him shall God destroy.
Then shall God destroy. A way of defiling our bodies is in hell and smoke. We're not supposed to do that. Or vape, or pills, or being drunk out your mind. We ain't supposed to defile ourselves doing that. That goes into a lot. A whoremonger that defiles himself, that's defiling God's temple. Being an adulterer is defiling God's temple. You understand? Eating unclean food like pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, that's defiling God's temple. So what God said he's going to do to that man or woman that does that?
Him shall God destroy.
God said he's going to destroy you. It might not be today. It might not be tomorrow. But best believe God going to get you. Go. So we got to prepare for that. Because God will destroy us. He'll destroy our bodies. We'll get lung cancer, all type of stuff. He'll give us a new disease we'll never heard before. You'll be the first one to have it. You know what I'm saying? God will do that. He'll destroy us in many different ways. You understand? For defiling our temple. From that, do you eat pork, shrimp, crab, a lot? You do eat pork, shrimp. Okay, that's a good job, I see. Let's get that in the Leviticus. These are things that we never been taught before. You've been to church. They never taught you. They never taught you who you were according to the Bible. And they never taught you. They had you confused on what Christ really looked like. You understand? But you learning these things now. It's no coincidence. You understand? We are back on earth to teach our people what they must do to be the kingdom of heaven. Because it's never been taught correctly. So watch this.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 11 and verse 7. And the swine, though he divided the hoof, and be cloven footed.
So what's a swine? Swine. Well, swine is pork. So God is telling us that we can't eat pork. Swine is a pig.
Yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean to you.
He is unclean to us. So swine is pig flesh. We are not to eat that. You know, so that God said not to eat it, and it's a garbage disposal of the earth. Because a pig will eat a dead body. You know, a pig will eat his own crap, drink his own piss, all that. And a pig does those things. So God doesn't want us to eat that because they're destroyed. Like for example, right? You drive, so you don't put diesel gas in your car, do you? If you put diesel gas in your car, what's gonna happen to you? It's gonna break down. So God said, guess what? We ain't supposed to put that in our body because guess what's gonna happen to our bodies when we eat? It's gonna break down.
That's right.
It ain't gonna be no good. You're gonna start getting gout, high blood pressure, you're gonna get overweight, you're gonna have headaches, everything. You understand? You're gonna have all types of health problems. That's why God don't want us to eat it. Because no other nation on earth has this. You understand? God loves us enough to give us this. Read the next scripture. You crab prophet. Those two, right? So watch it.
Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you.
Clean to the children of Israel. You see, when the white man eat that stuff, they don't need a high blood pressure and high cholesterol. Who leading that stuff? We do. Why? Because God gave us commandment on not to eat. And God said if we did, guess what he'd do? He'd destroy us. He's doing that. So he's jacking us up with that stuff. You understand? So, verse 1.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 11 and verse 9. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters.
So now God gonna give us on what we can eat that swim in the water. Read.
Whatsoever have fins and scales.
So whatever got fins and scales. Do a shrimp got fins and scales? What about a crab? A lobster? Those are bottom feeders. God don't want us to eat bottom feeders. Only fins and scales, you gotta have both. Like a catfish, you got fins and scales. They got fins, but it's a smooth fish. It don't got no scales. It's unclean. It's a bottom feeder too. That's that oysters, bottom feeder. All of these different things our people eat. And those themselves are eating that ain't got fins and scales, it's unclean. God don't want us to eat that. It's like poison to us. We eat poison when we do those things. Go ahead.
These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever have fins and scales, in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat.
Them shall ye eat. Give me Isaiah 66:15. Let me show you something else that our people don't know. And a lot of people think that that's done away with, but this is the prophecy what's going to happen when Christ comes back. Watch this. Isaiah 66:15. Show you something. Church ain't going to teach you this. Watch it.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 66 and verse 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire.
That's what Christ coming with when he come back to this earth. That's what our people don't know. And Christ, when he come back, he coming with wrath and destruction. Jump to verse 17.
Verse 17. They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree, in the midst, eating swine's flesh.
Doing what?
Eating swine's flesh.
Remember, Christ coming back with destruction. So those eating swine's flesh, that's what's going to happen to them. They're going to get destroyed. They're going to get caught up in that destruction, right?
Eating swine's flesh and the abomination.
And the abomination. That's shrimp, crab, and lobster. The abomination. And all the other sea creatures that don't have fins and scales. Read.
And the abomination, and the mouse.
And the mouth. Some of our people eat possum. Some of our people eat raccoons, stew. Man, our people eat really nasty things. Read.
Shall be consumed together, said the Lord.
Let's go have them soon.
Shall be consumed together, said the Lord.
Said the Lord. Our people that's caught up in eating those things, you're going to die when Christ comes back. You're going to get burnt in the lake of fire. That's what's going to happen. Very right. Luke 13:3. So sis, with that, we're going to be you this scripture right here. Because this is what it's all about. Okay, so we got to get ready to go to this. So we're going to be you with this one. And remember, a woman can't wear what? Fans. So you got to start wearing what?